Hello, welcome to Microfiche Microphone. I'm Micah, and on this channel we look at microfiche from the past, old newspaper articles in the public domain. We look at them with our modern eyes, our modern perspective, and see what we can learn from them. On this Microfiche time capsule, we are starting a new newspaper. I'm really excited about this one. I think this is going to be great. This is from the Ladies' Home Journal. And if you're not familiar with Ladies' Home Journal, it was the magazine to have in any household where there was a woman, basically. As long as there was a wife or a mother, they basically had this newspaper. Now, not at the very beginning, and we're going to kind of start at the beginning, but as it went on, it got really big really fast, and it basically was in every household in the United States at one point. So I am starting in the first year that it was published. Now, a lot of the earliest publications included a lot of like creative writing and things like that. That is not so interesting to me as far as that goes. So I am going to skip that. And instead, what we are going to look at are some of the other articles. So I am looking at the February 1884 Ladies' Home Journal, and we are looking at an article called What Women Want to Know. Now, this particular article seems to be kind of a serial. So it's an article that comes up a lot. It's like general household advice. And I am just curious as to what was general household advice in 1884. So we're skipping around a little bit. 19th century this time. What women want to know. I never boil milk for a child. It changes its specific gravity and other characteristics. Salt should not be forgotten. I don't know who's writing this. Editor maybe? Never boil milk. Disagree. Milk can have quite a bit of bacteria. If you need to make sure that it's sterile enough for a small child, then yeah, go ahead and boil it if you feel like that would be helpful. I've never added salt to milk, but maybe that was a thing back then where it was more important than it is today. I don't know, but I can't imagine you would need very much. Like the tiniest pinch maybe, but I don't know. It seems a little odd because you could very easily put too much salt in milk, and then you have salty milk. First of all, it doesn't taste good, and second of all, it's not good for that child. They're going to get dehydrated. So all right, if you have a piano or an organ, encourage your boy to learn to play on it. Music is a powerful influence to hold families together. I like that. The only problem I have with that is they specifically says your boy. Why not your girl? So you're only going to teach the boys to play piano? Other than that, I have no problems with that statement. But, dude, teach all of your kids if you're going to teach your kids to play piano. See that your boy attends church and Sunday school. Do not permit him to be in the company of those whose character is doubtful. Treat your boy kindly and justly, and he will not be in haste to leave you. Once again, why not the girls? Was this like a euphemism back then where they only said boy when they meant all children? I'm hoping that's the case, because otherwise this is extraordinarily sexist, where only the boys should attend church and Sunday school and learn piano. And treat your boy kindly and justly, and he will not be in haste to leave you. That depends entirely upon his personality. Also, like maybe he will still be in a hurry to leave for different reasons, you know. I'm just saying. But, of course, that's always general good advice, is treat your boy kindly and justly. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Heavy suppers of rich food with coffee are damaging to health, and sooner or later will undermine the strongest constitution. Because one can stand it 1 or 5 years is no sign they will not floor him at last. Eat a light supper. Well, I mean, suppers of rich food can lead to gout, things like that. I'm not sure why they specifically mentioned coffee, except that maybe you shouldn't have caffeine in the evening. Yeah, I mean that's a general good advice, but it also depends on how many calories you burn during the day. If you're talking about farmers, no, they're going to need a decent meal. if you're talking about like factory workers, or if you're talking about like shopkeepers, then they might not need as much food. But it also depends on whether or not they had a decent lunch break during the day. If they didn't, and they had to just like eat a sandwich between customers, then no, they might be really hungry in the evening. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure if I agree with that, because it all depends. Why should we not educate our girls as well as our boys to be self-supporting? That is framed as a question, which shows how sexist the times were, that they weren't allowed to say it as a statement. Like, instead of saying, why should we not, you say, we should. We should educate our girls as well as our boys to be self-supporting. They could have said that as a statement. I agree with that. Yeah? Support yourself, girls. Let men say what they will about women for their love of dress, yet there never was a slattern who could hold the love and respect of a sensible man. Wow, that's a backhand. That's like, bam, you know? Oh, jeez. It makes it sound like if a woman is not interested in fashion and doesn't care as much about her appearance or clothes, then she's not going to be in a relationship because nobody would want her. That's solidly not true. And jeez, like that's a horrible thing to say. Okay. Girls, have a bank account, make a beginning if ever so small. That's very good advice, specifically geared toward the girls who probably very often did not have a bank account, whereas the boys tended to have one. That's why it was addressed to girls. Plus, this is in the Ladies' Home Journal. We're talking to girls, dude. Where shall the line be drawn in matters of dress between duty to oneself on the one hand and extravagance and sin on the other? Question. Just a question, yeah? Where do you draw the line? Are you well dressed to the point of being clean and neat and tidy and not in rags? Or are you gone too far in the other direction and all you do is spend all your money on clothing? Yeah. It is said that farmers' families suffer more from dyspepsia than any other class of people. I feel like that should be like the beginning of part of a sentence and it should go on, but that's all they're saying. Dyspepsia, I believe, is just a general term for upset stomach, if I'm not mistaken. I have no idea why that would be. No clue. The water in finger glasses may be slightly tinted with cochineal and faintly perfumed with rosewater. What? Okay, I don't understand that at all. I thought finger glasses were like shot glasses. Slightly tinted with cochineal, faintly perfumed with rosewater. That's weird. Why would you drink water out of a shot glass anyway? Like, if you're drinking water, dang it, drink a glass of water. Okay. The practice of people calling upon with the expectation of seeing a sick person who is ill until death is, to say the least, very inconsiderate. Much harm has been done to sufferers from this very thing. What? So they're saying that it caused their death if you went to see them when they were very, very sick? Well, I guess that's possible, but dude, like, I doubt that was the visit that made them die. I think it was just the illness. Like, if you're visiting a sick person, I personally would assume that because they're sick and they're very unwell, that they're not going to be up to much. And so I wouldn't demand very much of them. I'd just come in and say hello, say I just wanted to talk to you really quick and say hi. And, I won't take up too much of your time. I'll let you rest. Is that what they mean? Like, you should let them rest? Yeah, but like, if they're dying, then yeah, you should go see them. You should go see them. I don't know. A natural fear of being looked upon as a skinflint often prevents housekeepers from impressing those under them with the principles of true economy. Okay, when they say housekeepers, I think they mean mothers? Yeah? And the people under them, I'm assuming they mean their children. So they don't want to be seen as stingy, so they don't teach their children to economize. Is that what they're saying? Because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. That's a weird fear. Ladies who are teaching school have a good opportunity to earn our premiums. Send us lists of housekeepers and we will mail specimen copies, and then you can make up your clubs. Cool. So they have like a special thing that they do for teachers. Yeah, they're like, hey, we'll send you some of our magazines, and then you can use them for your clubs at school. That's cool. Young ladies, make yourself proficient in some one thing so that you can earn your own living. Should it be necessary or should you wish to do so, the thing to be done is to thoroughly master some trade or profession that will bring you in money. Excellent advice. It could be anything. Yeah, you could learn to teach, you could learn to sew, you could learn to, make hats. Like whatever it is that you want to do, do it. Yeah? Make money from it so you can sustain yourself, support yourself, and you don't have to depend upon somebody else to do it for you. If you do not have carpet on your kitchen, make a few large thick rugs. They can be shaken often and will make warm places on which to stand or sit at your work. Yeah, well back then they spent a lot of time in the kitchen, yeah? As you had to like make the fire before you could bake your bread, you know what I mean? Shams are out of fashion, as are also pillows for day use. A round bolster with a covering of linen, lace, or satin gathered up at either end and finished with a bow or ribbon or cord or tassel has taken their place. Okay, good to know. Like, I don't know anything about fashion, especially in 1884, but apparently sham pillows are out of fashion. Remember that. Women live too much in the house, breathe too much bad air, and take too little of outdoor recreation. What do you want us to do? You want women to do everything. You want us to cook well. You want everything to be clean. You want the clothes all to be clean. And yet you also want us to go outside a lot. Like, make up your mind, dudes. In lining the sleeves of calico dresses, especially for children, it pays to line them with calico like the dress. Then, if the sleeves become worn, there is a patch already there, shrunken and faded to match the rest. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad advice, actually. A little bit extra fabric already that matches the rest of the dress. Croup is the result of cold, especially if connected with damp clothing or wet stockings. No mother should ever put her child under 7 years to bed without feeling the feet. And if they are not warm, by all means warm them, and it may end in croup before morning. Okay, croup. My child has had croup. It is not from a cold. I believe it's a bacterial infection. It causes your trachea to swell up, and it results in this awful cough. Do they mean a regular cough, or do they mean croup? Because croup is not caused by being cold. Croup is a virus or a bacteria. Now I'm actually not 100% sure. Virus. It's usually caused by a virus. Okay, my bad. So it's a virus, and it's just a virus like any other. Now, of course, you are less susceptible to viruses if you don't get too cold. However, it is not the cold that causes them. The cold causes your body to be more susceptible to them. It's not the cause of them themselves. But, making sure your kids have warm feet before they go to bed is still not bad advice. Being out of doors after sundown from November to May is a very frequent cause of croup in small children. Once again, we're going back to croup, yeah? Being out of doors after sundown. In playing about, their feet are apt to get wet, or they get overexcited in their little play, are overheated, and are very much inclined to stand in the wind, or at the corner on the damp ground, or sit on a cold stone. Once again, croup is a virus. It's a group of diseases or symptoms. It's a symptom. It's a symptom that, a swollen trachea that is indicative of certain viruses. And it's not caused by the cold. Once again, your child will be more susceptible to the cold if they get more susceptible to the virus if they get too cold. But the cold does not cause the virus. One of the first things provided for in house furnishing should be the dictionary. Let it have a stand or table of its own, where nothing ever need be placed upon its pages. To it every child should be directed for the many bits of information they're continually interrupting their older people to ask for. Yeah, this is when I tell my kids to ask Google or Alexa. Yeah? Like, Alexa, ist Pseudokrupp ein Virus oder ein Bakterium? see, now they said it was a bacteria. Geez, make up your minds, people. Is it a bacteria or is it a virus? Anyways, it's interesting that they were like, everybody should have a dictionary. Like, I don't consider dictionaries as like the answer to everything. It just tells you the definition of words. Like, I guess if somebody asks you how to spell something, you can direct them to the dictionary, or if they ask you what something means. But if they ask you what's the capital of Egypt, then, you know, you would have to look at an encyclopedia. Like, we had a set of encyclopedias when I was a kid. Maybe this wasn't a thing before then. Alexa, was ist die Hauptstadt von Ägypten? Cairo. Yeah. Cairo. Cairo is the capital. See, that's what we have Alexa for today. What I like about this article is that they're trying to do their best and they're trying to give good advice. What I dislike about the article is that it's a bit dated. I mean, in the sense of like sexist and like making some very strange generalities that are not true. It's a correlation versus causation thing that they clearly didn't quite have a grasp on. I don't dislike it. I really don't. I think that this was women trying to be better and to learn more and to try and like do the best that they could. But at the same time, it's a little overexcited now, isn't it? Like, see that your boy attends church, and then the question is, why should we not educate our girls? We should. We should. Educate your girls. Make sure they have something that they know how to do. You want to teach piano to your kids, teach piano to all your kids. You know, things like that. But it's very interesting, and I would consider making this into a series of what women want to know from the Ladies' Home Journal. And I don't know how many years this continued. I haven't looked at all of them. Obviously, there's too many. But I would love to continue this series for at least a little while and come back to it in between every once in a while. And yeah. So, looking forward to learning more about what women wanted to know in 1884. So thank you for joining us on our Microfiche time capsule today, and please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next video.